Last June, the Science-Based Emissions Reduction Advocacy Organization approved FORVIA's net zero emissions target in 2045, making FORVIA the world's first automotive company to have this net zero emission target approved. What kind of efforts have you been made?
So it starts from a conviction. The mission of a company is something which needs to fluctuate with the environment, with what is happening, and we maybe prefer to speak about convictions, because convictions have no nationality. Convictions are speaking to human beings, yeah, and they are also normally not directly related to cultures. Yeah? So one of our convictions is that global warming is probably the challenge of humanity, and that we cannot ignore it. It is now clearly demonstrated that it is related to human activities. Okay, so we have to act. We have to act for our kids, for the future generations. And so we decided very early to get involved in this, in Scope 1, in Scope 2, in Scope 3. Yeah? And we defined action plans, precise action plans, with a clear strategy which allowed us to convince SBTi to qualify us. So you need really plans, you need to deliver every year an improvement. We created Materiact, which is a new formulation body which will combine virgin materials with recycled materials and with biosourced materials. And as you know, biosourced materials are CO2 negative. And it's because of this negativity of biosourced materials that we are able to achieve the net zero in 2045. And this was not really planned when we started. The starting point was uniquely related to our very strong conviction. But experience has demonstrated that what is good for the planet might also be good for the P&L of the company. Yeah. Sure. For example, we have a crisis, especially in Europe, about energy costs. Yeah? If you reduce your consumption of energy, and we did it by above 20%, it's good for the results. Yeah? When you, at an early stage, get involved in new architectures, new designs, new materials, it's innovation. Yeah? And innovation means new opportunities, which again is good for the profitable growth of the company. So I'm saying that because I would like to encourage all companies to think about it. It's not a cost, yeah? It's an opportunity, and it's good for all of us.
That depends how you will use this point and how long it will take, because there is always a balance between the investment right now and the profit right now.
We are speaking about, when we speak about new architectures, yeah, what are we speaking about? We are speaking about modular approaches. And modular approach is allowing you to have much better material content. Yeah? It allows you to easily dismantle when you want to recycle. But when it's easy to dismantle, it's usually also easy to assemble. So you make some savings, yeah, when you assemble.
Yeah.
We have today upgrades which are electronic upgrades, software over-the-air upgrades.
OTA.
But we will also need some hardware upgrades. Yeah? There's no reason for a consumer to have frozen functionalities at the day they buy the car. Yeah? So we can also offer new possibilities which are extending your business. Yeah? So this will not happen in 2045.
No.
This is happening now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a process which will continue to progress.
Okay. So what are your long-term goals and plans for sustainable development?
So first of all, we have the net zero, which is far away and not so much, because we really net zero is not so easy to achieve, because you are considering the CO2 of what you are doing, but you are also considering the CO2 of the use of the products you have sold. Yeah.
You mean the whole cycle of it?
Absolutely. Yeah. So we will continue to work on this. We will continue to try to find solutions in whatever we do. Yeah. We are now considering these elements. I also believe that sooner or later, probably sooner, the industries in general will get penalized if they do not achieve an CO2 improvement. And we might see the ton of CO2 becoming a liquid market. Yeah? Because some who might not have achieved their target might need to buy CO2 permits.
Yeah.
Yeah? And this will again become an entire part of the competitiveness of a company. Yeah? So this is why I'm saying it again. I do believe that what is good for the planet, and this is why we have to get engaged, might also be good for the business.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so hydrogen energy is also one of the solutions to help achieve carbon neutrality. What are the latest developments of FORVIA in the field of hydrogen fuel cells?
When it comes to hydrogen, we are not coming from the same angle than when we speak about battery electric vehicles. When you look at the energy strategy worldwide, we go for electricity produced by different means, yeah? And we have natural gas to be able to store energy. Yeah? But the point is that natural gas is carbonated. Yeah? So we have to find an alternative to natural gas. And the only alternative, zero CO2, is hydrogen. So you produce renewable energy and you transform this renewable energy into hydrogen, which you can store and you can use at any time, while the renewable energy is intermittent.
Yeah.
Okay? So it will come. Sure. Yeah? And China is making a lot of investments to produce hydrogen.
Yes.
Yeah? Using hydrogen into the mobility is in fact replacing the batteries by a fuel cell system. The electric car, stays exactly what it is today. Okay, it's the same powertrain architecture. The only thing is that the electric energy is not stored in batteries, but produced through hydrogen use. This, because China is the world champion of batteries and electrification, yeah, it's not the first priority for China to move to hydrogen. It's also not the first priority because China smartly has not decided for a ban on ICEs. Yeah? And that you have developed some alternative solutions which I believe are very smart, like the range extender. But it will come for heavy mobility first, for industry decarbonation also, and in the second step, a little bit later, on the mobility, because you will have to go to zero emissions. So it will start in Europe. It will then get developed in higher volumes in the US, and I think the third step will be China.
Oh, that's a whole picture and the whole development process, right? When we talk about all the fields and high tech, actually everything needs to be done by talents. Talents are the most valuable resources for great companies, especially in a fast developing industries. So what kind of talents strategies you adopt in the group?
So, first, woman.
Okay.
No, you are laughing, but you know, women are representing a little bit more than 50% of the world population.
50%?
More. A little bit more than 50%.
Oh my God.
Okay? So, consequently, more than 50% of human talents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? So it would be ridiculous not to benefit from this amount of talent. Yeah? So we are considering gender diversity as one of our priorities everywhere, including in China. Then you need to have convictions.
Yeah.
Because the new generation wants to give some sense to what they do. Okay, they need to understand why they wake up in the morning and they go to work. You need also to deal with the work-life balance. New generations have different aspirations than the past generations. You need to develop them. They need to get trained. It's very clear that they will have different métiers during their career.
Yeah.
China is particularly interesting from a talent point of view. You have 11 million, if I'm not mistaken, students every year leaving university. Yeah? It will not be so easy to find for China the level of jobs these people are entitled to expect related to the studies they did. Okay? So I think you have a reservoir of talents in China which will be very interesting for us. And I don't think that it will be as difficult in China to find these talents as maybe in some other regions, which again is a strength. Yeah? But yes, it's a battle. Yeah?
It's a battle.
Talents, you know, you have to fight for talents. You have to fight for attracting them, you have to fight to keeping them, yeah? And it's absolutely essential for the developing of the companies. So you have to be attractive. It's no more, maybe 30, 50 years ago, you selected the people, yeah? Now it's the people who are selecting you.
Yeah. Totally change, different. You're very successful in the career development, obviously. Can you give some suggestions for the young generation, especially those who just enter the working environment?
What are our strengths? I think we are, first of all, an international company with a significant size. So inside the company, you can grow in different métiers, but you can also grow in different regions. Yeah? And you can grow in each of the regions independently. If you are Chinese and you want to stay in China, you have many opportunities in our organization. We are more than 30,000 people here. That's one thing. The second thing is that our company, and this is real, doesn't care about gender, color, religion, whatever. Yeah?
Don't care.
We don't care. We are just considering talents. Yeah? And when the people are capable, they are capable, point. And they can deal with a management responsibility, whatever it is and wherever it happens. Yeah? So there's no limits. Yeah? In our company related to where you are coming from. I think this is the second point. The third point, we are in an industry which is product related, interesting products. You can see them, you can touch them. Yeah. Which is in constant movement and transformation, yeah, which is offering permanently new opportunities. And I think that this is also very important. We respect people, we are respectful, we recognize people, we have convictions, we spoke about that. We are listeners, so we get adjusted to some issues they may have. and we provide, I think, also the work environment which is attractive and flexible. Yeah. So, and we also, you know, train them. You know, we have inside the company FORVIA University, yeah, and we permanently.
You have your own university.
Yes.
For training.
Yes, and so we train them permanently.
Wow, that's very attractive for them to work there. They can get better trained and many chances to experience different things in different countries. Okay, so since you're on business trip here in China, so I guess you already met a lot of China customers. For those you cannot meet in person, anything you want to express?
I would like, first of all, you know, to express my my surprise again about this fantastic progress which is made here. Yeah? I'm also impressed by how they are listening to the needs, which is really differentiating them from the rest of the world, from my point of view. And I would like to offer them an even stronger collaboration to support them in the next moves they are preparing.
Okay. Last but not least, anything you want to say to your Chinese team?
I said it yesterday. You know, I said to my colleagues that I love Chinese. Yeah, which is true. You know, when I'm coming to China, it's always a pleasure for me to meet our people. Yeah? There's something emotional, yeah, in the way we work in China. We work hard. We are committed. We are accountable. We deliver, but we also have some fun. Yeah? And I think the interpersonal relationship counts. Yeah, and it's a pleasure, you know, to have a drink with them, to have a dinner with them. It's always enjoyable.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for saying so. And also thank you for your time to accept our interview. I know it's a very long interview and we talk a lot of things. And hope you will make greater achievements in China market and globally.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you.
Thank you.